Hiya, how y'all doing today? Welcome back. I'm Cece Simslea, but you can just call me Cece, and I can't believe it, but it's 2025. So happy New Year. This is my first post of the new year. And for New Year, I actually did a post on Instagram of just the highlights of the year. Everything people really engaged with, what people seem to want more of, what they really liked across 2024. I'll show you those posts now, but to keep this intro short, I basically realized I started on TikTok and the videos that got the most kind of views and what people were saying they wanted more of was building tips and tricks. And I realized I've done so many parts of it on TikTok, I have never done a single one on YouTube. So let's do a long video starting with kind of starter building tips and tricks and some that are a little bit more, I guess, advanced for lack of a word. And see what we do. If you want more of it, let me know, but let's get on with it. Now, for some people, maybe you already know these and they might seem really straightforward, but I'm basing these all off of comments I got on videos in the past. So let's take a look at the little toolbar that we have at the very top. There's a shortcut for like every single one of these. So let's take a look at changing time of day while in build mode. You can click the little sun or moon or whatever is up here, but you can also press your L key on your keyboard to cycle through morning, afternoon, evening, and night. I've been asked how I rotate my screen, and I use my greater and less than symbols to do that. The next shortcut to take you to the wall category, you can press the letter B on your keyboard. You can drag across for an individual wall, but holding in the shift key lets you drag out an entire room. To delete a section of the wall, hold in the control key while you click and drag across the wall. Similarly, holding in Control and Shift let you delete entire rooms, which you can use to just delete everything on the entire lot. And for the next one, if you get yourself a wall or any object or anything you want to delete, if you press the letter K on your keyboard, you'll get this little hammer tool to delete them with. Now, if you then decide that was a mistake, I should not have deleted those walls, if you press Control and Z together, then you'll be able to undo anything that you've done. But if you're then like, no, actually, I did prefer that, press Control and Y to redo everything that you've undone. For the next one, we're going to need a building, a room, something, so let's quickly do that. And then if you press the letter U on your keyboard, you're able to select the building and move it around on the lot. And you can rotate it with your greater than and less than symbols again and place it anywhere you want. And now that I'm looking at it, I didn't plan for this at all, but why don't we just build a house? So let's build something as we go through all of these so we can see it firsthand how to use them all. The next step for this house, let's paint it. So let's paint the outside. You can click and drag to paint an entire wall or any way you want, but you can paint the entire room by holding in Shift. But let's say that you really want to have a feature wall. To do that, all you need to do is select something. So let's pick something that'll kind of stand out like stone. And then if you hold in your Alt key while you place it, it will only paint that entire strip of wall instead of the entire room or an individual panel. I'm also going to place it on the side here just so you can see a little easier what I mean of it painting one individual like wall instead of the entire room. Now for our next shortcut, let's say we want to get back that wood paneling, so you can press the letter E on your keyboard to get this little eyedropper tool, and then if you click anywhere that has like an object, a wallpaper, whatever, you're able to duplicate it so you can use it again without having to search for it. For the next ones, we're going to need a kind of room or just some furniture, so let's quickly throw something together. Next, I remember this shortcut is R for rainbow, so if you want to have a look at all the colours something comes in or the swatches, then you press the letter R on your keyboard and you can select an object to change the colour it's in. Another option is when you pick something out of the buy catalogue and are about to place it, you can go through all the swatches it comes in by pressing your plus and minus keys. It's just a nice quick way, especially if you're trying to get the vibe of the room and you're not sure what swatch will suit, and you can just kind of hover the object in the room to work it out. But for the next one, I've been asked quite a few times how you duplicate objects. I did show the eyedropper tool already. Another option is while you're placing an object, you can hold in your shift key as you place it, and you'll get another copy of it that you can place again. Now, just to quickly cover some other useful ones, if you don't already know, your page up key will let you go up a floor, your page down key allows you to come back down a floor, and then you have your walls. So to put up the wall heights, press your home key. To put them down, press the end key. You have half walls and full wall height that you can put them to. So press your home key twice to go to the walls full up, press it once to only go half up, and the same on the way down. Now, a lot of the time when you're placing stairs, you have a kind of vision in mind for the upstairs, and it's difficult to make enough room for the floor, the rooms, everything you're going to need up there. So, placing the stairs downstairs, you can see how it's going to work downstairs but not upstairs. But you can hold in control as you place the stairs from upstairs, and you're able to see where they're going to go. Now let's finally take a look at furnishing the place. So let's get started in the living room. Let's say you've got your coffee table, you want to place a bunch of items on them, but they're all kind of overlapping or there's not enough space. You need your bb.move object space on cheat enabled. Testing cheats true needs to be typed in first, then use bb.move objects on. And once you've got that sorted, you can alt place objects on the coffee table to have them exactly where you want them to be. Oh, and just to make sure you do know how to use it all, Control-Shift-C, press them all together and you will open your cheat menu. And to close it, because I have been asked before, click on it as if you're going to type into the cheat menu and then press your S key, your escape key, and it will close the cheat menu. Also press enter once you're finished typing in a cheat just to put it through in case you don't know, but for the next bit, alt place an object is exactly as it sounds. You're using your alt key. So you're going to hold in your alt key as you're clicked onto an object, you're dragging it around, hold in your alt key, and then you no longer have to place it in designated slots, you can just freely place it. Next, let's take a look at sizing up and down objects. So to do this, you use your square bracket keys, the left one to size something down, the right one to size things up. Another one, press the letter G on your keyboard to turn on and off the grid, because I get asked a lot all the time how I do that. You just need to press the letter G on your keyboard to turn it on and off. Now if you've watched my videos before, you'll know the next one. This one is more of a tip than like an already built into the game thing. But this is how I make rooms brighter, because a lot of the lights that look nice and are nice feature points in rooms have very little light coming out of them. So I get the little spotlights and I size them down and hide them in the fixtures for the lights where they stick to the ceiling. I hide them into that. You can't even see them when you're in live mode. If you look overhead in build mode, you can sometimes just see them peeking through, but you cannot see it at all in live mode. For roofing tips, if you're trying to adjust a roof and you only want one side to be shorter, you still want to keep the other side long, you can hold shift while you click and drag and it will only adjust one side of the roof. Also, when adjusting roofs, it can be really hard to get them all to the same height, and I like all my roofs to kind of be parallel a lot of the time. I want the top arch to all kind of match, so they all just kind of seamlessly flow into each other. Roofing can be hard enough as it is, but because of the way that they adjust, when you try to adjust the heights of roofs, you'll find that there's almost like specific slots. It will jump to different heights. But if you hold in your Alt key while you're dragging it, you can freely drag to any height that you want. I'll do it a little bit closer up so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So for the next one, we all kind of know the different adjustment points on a roof piece. We've got to make it longer in width or length, but we've also got the little ball points that you can use to create more of a rounded arch or an indented roof. But you also can access more of these ball points to have more kind of areas that you can manipulate on the roof. All you have to do is select a roof and then hold in your shift key and press the letter C on your keyboard, and you'll have access to all of these extra points that you can manipulate on a roof. Roofing can be really difficult though, so sometimes having more options does not make it any easier. Now this video is already getting quite long, so I'm just going to quick fire some different build tips at you. You can raise up and lower objects with your 9 and 0 keys if you've got your move objects cheats enabled, which we went over already. So using 9 and 0 you can do that. Alternatively, if it's an object that has points on it that objects can snap to, like a counter, you can place them on it, drag the counter out of the way, and then alt place and drag them to where you kind of want them to be on the counter, then slip the counter back in underneath. Also ignore this washing machine and dryer because I haven't actually play tested this build yet. This might not work, but I've sized them down and slipped them under the counter. I have no idea if it's going to work. But let's say alternatively, neither of these options for the objects worked. You've raised them up and there's a gap. It's small, but just enough you know it's there. And it doesn't slot onto the object you're trying to place it on, so you can't get the perfect height. Then, alternatively, there is another way, so let's take a look at this fridge. Now, fingers crossed, it's an object that will slot onto a shelf. You can raise the shelf up with alt place the shelf at the exact height of the surface you want to put it on, place the object on the shelf, and then drag it across to on top of the object you want it on. Then Bob's your uncle sorted. If you can hear some background noise or banging, don't blame me. My neighbours are putting things in their car, I think, outside. This microphone is a new one. Relatively new. I've had it for a good couple videos now, but it picks up every single sound. If somebody in my house even breathes downstairs on the other side of the house, this mic will know about it. It picks up everything. But if you've got me on TikTok, you've probably already seen this and you'll know what I'm doing right now. But this video's long. Let's try and round it off. I do have some more kind of tips I was going to show. I've got footage of like terrain paint and different kind of tips and shortcuts for things for build mode, but let's do custom paintings. Upstairs I've got a bedroom. It's a very cutesy pink kind of feel in there. None of the paintings fit it at all. So let's make our own one. I am by no means good at custom content, can't make any of that. Tried once to make a dress, didn't end well. So I like making custom paintings by using paint by reference. So let me show you how I do that. So to start with, you're going to need a box room. This will literally be the back paint of your canvas. Paint the colours of the walls, whatever colour you want the painting to have in the background. I'm wanting kind of a soft pink. Light up the room as much as you want. Too much light and you will white out the painting though. So light it up as much as you want to, and then find objects you want to be in the painting. I'm thinking floral things, flowers, greenery, stuff like that. So I'm going to try and get a few things, play about with stuff. I'm thinking some trees or things in the background. Now you need to think of a Sim's eye line height. What is eye level with them? Because when you do paint by reference, it's from their viewpoint. So I'm raising up objects, sizing things up. The bottom, what's down at the floor, does not matter. You will not really see that. You want to size things up to be in the exact kind of eye line of your sim. So I'm just going to mess about with some objects, and it does take a few tweaks until you get things right. So just keep messing about with it. I'll put in just a loose baseline, and then I will need to actually see how it looks in paint by reference and tweak it a bit more until it's perfect. Now I realise I'm doing this in Manage World, so I need to go get a sim. So I will go grab my sim self. She is still all kitted out for Christmas. So I'll go get her and bring my sim self back, and then we will do a paint by reference. Oh, also I just realised that I instinctively expanded the build menu. That's a mod. There's no cheat for that. That's a mod. It's the Better Build By mod. Now here's my sim self that I stole from her house in Newcrest. She has no painting skill, and I don't even think you need to have the painting skill to do paint by reference. I don't think it's necessary, but I always do it just for good measure. So the cheat to be able to do that. Now, I don't think I have to specify this, but just in case, when I say space, I do not mean type in the word space, I mean press the space bar. But I will type it out across the screen just in case. The cheat is stats.set_skill_level space major_painting space 10. That will max out your painting skill. Now, as you can see, the eye level thing can be a little bit difficult, so now I'm going to tweak it. I'm going to mess about with platforms a bit until I can get it bang on exactly how I want. I'm going to speed it up so you don't have to be tortured through the entire process. You'll still be able to see it and how I work things out, but I'll just make it faster so that you can get to the end a lot quicker. But basically that's all there is to it. You're using your 9 and 0 keys to raise and lower, you're using your Alt key to Alt place, so you're just dragging around holding Alt, and you can just get everything exactly where you want. Use platforms to raise or drop your own sim, which I ended up doing. A lot of the time I use platforms to raise the objects in the painting, but this time I was like, couldn't work out the exact thing, and it was just easier to move the sim, so I started lowering the platform she was standing on. But there we go, a nice pretty custom painting for the bedroom. You can even do this with smaller frames and create like 2 paintings side by side that carry across the image, which looks quite cool as well. Now for this one, just with the wood tones in the room, the black frame did not work. I thought of just having no frame on the canvas, but then I decided to just slot a painting behind it. It's not bang on, it is not perfect, but you can do this. You can just get another painting. Some of them it won't work, some of them it does, and you can just kind of alt place it and slide it behind the canvas, and it kind of looks like it's the frame of the painting. Now we're all done. There is more footage, so if you want to see a part 2 of some more tips and more kind of things that you can use in build mode that you might not know about, let me know. I'm more than happy to do another part if this is something people want to see. But let me show you the finished build. This is everything that we've done. It is a little bit skew the build shape and things. A little bit funny because when I originally started it, I wasn't actually intending to do a build. So I kind of just had to try and go off of what shape I started with. So it's a little bit funny, but I think it kind of works out. I don't feel like it looks too bad. I feel like the inside anyway. Inside it looks perfect. Outside out back, I feel like it looks alright. Outside out front, okay. From the side out front, I feel like it looks a little bit long, but it's because of the original room that I just thought I was just plopping some furniture in to show a living room setup, but then ended up actually doing a living room. But let me know what you think of this build anyway, and let me know what you think of the tips and tricks. If there's more things you'd want to know, there are other cheats and cheat codes and stuff that I could show you. There's different ones I was going to include, like how to change what season you're in, different skill cheats, different stuff. So I definitely have other things I can share, and I definitely have other kind of build tips and things like that. So let me know what you want to see, and I'm more than happy to do it. If you made it all the way to the end, then thanks so much for watching. I hope you're having an amazing day, and thanks for being here for my first video of the year. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do what you're going to do, and I'll see you next time. See ya!